The breaking news coming in now is that Prime Minister Modi has just held his bilateral meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. This is the first in-person meeting with President Putin since the Ukraine war began at the end of February this year. We'll have images from that meeting in just a moment from now. The Prime Minister earlier part of this Photoshop that's become a huge talking point politically here in India. Prime Minister Modi at one end of this spectrum of SCO leaders on stage at the summit before the talks kicked off. Prime Minister Modi, as we speak, is behind closed doors at a bilateral interaction with Russia's President Putin. Like I said, the first meeting, very, very crucial first meeting since the Ukraine war began. Many different layers to that conversation. Let's go straight across to India Today's Gaurav Sawant, who has reported extensively from Ukraine during the war. He joins us live. Gaurav, what's on the table between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin?
Shiv, there are many issues on the table. This is a very crucial summit interaction between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Russian President Vladimir Putin. More than just a formality. Shiv, this conversation is not just bilateral, it's also multilateral and regional. So when we were to talk about bilateral, there are issues that would be discussed, that are being discussed, that impact both India and Russia in terms of strategic relations between the two countries, economic relations between the two countries, fertilizers, that are being sought at this point of time. So that's bilateral. There are regional issues where India and Russia are talking, and of course Ukraine does remain an issue where the entire world is looking at this conversation because it impacts not just Russia and Ukraine but also other countries in Europe. India is one country that's actually very critical to both camps. When it comes to Quad, India is central to Quad along with the United States of America, Australia and Japan. When it comes to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and India now is the chair for the next 1 year, India is also very crucial to this grouping that is actually seen as anti-West by many, considering it has Russia, it has China, it has Iran. So India is seen as the voice of reason in this very crucial grouping, and India has maintained that point that any solution in Ukraine comes through dialogue. Anything that has to be there has to be without weapons. Also the supply of grain, the supply of millets that India is also talking about. Connectivity is something that India is very critically talking about. So these are some of the issues we are told that would be a part of the discussion. Of course, we will know more when the Foreign Secretary briefs the press after these summits are over.
Gaurav, continue to stay with me. We're awaiting first images from that bilateral meeting between the President of Russia and the Indian Prime Minister. We'll have Geeta live with us in just a moment from now as well. Those breaking images, many of them defining images from the summit, will of course always be first here on India Today.